Fuck me. We need tongue.
This is the Dude Loft Mountain Podcast with your hosts, Gabe, Tanner, and Tommy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dude Loft Mountain. I'm your host, Gabe. And as always, I have Tanner.
Howdy.
And Tommy.
Hola.
Hola. So, previous episode, we drink on each episode, and the last episode we did 2 episodes in one day, and didn't
slow down.
Yeah, we didn't slow down. We just kept drinking and
there
took
ain't
a break.
Breaks. Ain't no breaks. No breaks, boys.
So, I don't know where we left off, but Tanner, you have some interesting news.
Speaking of no breaks,
what does that mean?
You don't have breaks for when, not you personally, but if you're going to participate in what you're going to say.
I'm not participating in what I'm going to say, but...
I'm not either. I just want to throw it out there right now, unless it's something good.
Well, so have you guys heard of like the TikTok trend or whatever? April 24th? Any ideas?
The only TikTok I know, sir, is the sound that my clock makes when it wakes me up in the morning.
Nice. But you have that program to like play a nice song for you. You don't even hear a TikTok.
No, actually, I have a program to say the worst shit ever.
Really?
No, I was going to do that, but I was like, if someone hears that, it's going to not be joking.
It's going to be weird.
Yeah, it's going to be like, wake up, you fat shit. No, I have it just like set to a horrible like so it like wakes my ass up.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, but anyways, April 24th, now because of some people who kind of started this trend on TikTok, is National Rape Day. And it's not just like Rape Awareness Day or like Rape Remembrance Day. It's just some dudes, and I mean the source isn't really like, I don't know the source, I don't know like where it started, but some dudes got on TikTok and said that like we're gonna go out and rape a bunch of women and children on April 24th. So if you're a woman, you should always just kind of be aware of your surroundings anyways, but especially on April 24th, like I wouldn't fuck with it. Even if it is just a joke.
That's
like
something.
Well, yeah, QAnon was a fucking joke at one point.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
But yeah, I mean,
Fucking hell.
and so my girlfriend currently goes to NAU, and she was telling me about this trend, and she said that like she's heard that people from ASU in the Phoenix area are planning to go up to NAU, rent hotels, pose as Uber drivers, and pick up women on April 24th and rape people.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, I mean, even if like this is all just like hearsay and this trend just kind of popped up on TikTok, and most of the videos you see on TikTok are people like spreading awareness and being like, be careful on this day. But even if it is just like all a joke and nothing happens, you should still just like be cautious. Kind of crazy.
I fucking hate these guys.
How is
right?
this
I
happening?
fucking hate them.
I don't understand how it's like Pepe Le Pew got canceled, and in the same year I'm learning about Rape Day.
You want to learn more?
Yeah.
April 24th is also Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day.
Oh, well,
Oh.
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a
It's a
terrible
nice
day.
little coinciding.
Yeah. So that's fun. A little bit of history for you.
I bet System of a Down is happy about that.
So the white guys that are in charge of the holidays for April 24th are really, really bad at picking holidays.
They're fucked up.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, System of a Down, you could probably write a fucking kick-ass song out of it like they did with that other thing.
Yeah.
They released an EP like with 2 songs on it that was from like raising money for a current Armenian war thing going on.
Yeah.
And they were fucking awesome songs. It was like the first songs they made in years. But
That's interesting. Fun fact.
I didn't know they were still making music.
yeah, they still tour a lot. Didn't your stepdad go?
My stepdad went to one like
That was when we were living together.
Yeah, I want to say it's a year ago, but it's more because of COVID.
Like 2018, yeah.
I know.
But anyway, this
that's
fucking day,
That's
yeah.
insane that it, like, is this the first year? Or is
I
this
guess.
just like,
No, yeah. Like this is a new thing, I suppose. Yeah.
that's fucking insane. My sister is very like, she will most likely never be taken because she's very aware of everything all the time.
Yeah, which
And
is good.
But she during
Sucks, but it's good.
Well, I mean, like you could be aware and not be like living in paranoia or fear. It's just,
100%. It's just your brain just has to go into a mode where you're
Yeah.
able to look at your decision tree, basically.
yeah. And
say
it's sad that we live in a time that you have to do that, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. And I mean, like I was raised like mostly by my stepdad, who was a cop. And so, like, every time I went to a movie theater or a restaurant, it was always be like, aware of the egg, be aware of the exit, be aware who's walking in and who's walking out, and just kind of like watch shit. And I just thought it was normal. And then now I'm like, having conversations with like people about like the National Rape Day, and I realized that like people are just like, if you're a woman especially, you have to be aware of that shit constantly.
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
And as a dude too, like I'm not trying to get on like some liberal high horse or anything, but as a dude, like I try my best if I'm in like a parking garage or somewhere like alone with a woman that I don't know, something like that. I try my absolute damnedest to make sure I'm not doing anything that looks sketchy.
Yeah.
That like is gonna like she's already gonna be afraid. I'm a 6'4" fucking monster. Okay. She's gonna be afraid. People in public stores are afraid of me. But she's already at a level of fear. I don't need to make it worse by like, you know what? I'm gonna speed walk just right behind you. like I would do with any other situation besides this. Like, it's like so
You're being late for work, and if there's a woman between you and your desk, you're gonna be late for work.
Be late later.
It's just like, that's just because you do not get within like fucking 10 feet of her. Like because if she turns around and sees me like
Right
within a
next to
couple
her.
feet of her, that it's like, woo, like, and fucking even for me, I'm like, yeah, this is
I'm not even a
uncomfortable.
woman, and I get scared when that happens.
Yeah.
Nah. But it's a good kind of fear, isn't it? You know what I'm talking about.
It's my favorite kind.
It's my R. Kelly voice. You know what I'm talking about.
Favorite
Yeah, it's like,
kind.
there he is.
Annalie started
Kind of have to pee now.
selling safety keychains for girls. They have like spikes and pepper spray
Oh,
and
yeah.
tasers.
Yeah.
But she started selling them to all these people, and she was like, she's like, I don't honestly care if I make a profit or anything. Like, I just need people to be safe.
Yeah.
Because she was like on it. Because when COVID hit, like the stats for women being missing went really, really high.
Really?
Yeah. And she was sending stats. I was sending stats about COVID every day, and our president at the time being an asshole. And she was sending stats about how many women were taken yesterday. Like,
Damn.
it was intense, but she is like full on, like tells people like, when you go shopping, like you park, if it's nighttime, you park underneath a parking spot that has a light. You always take someone with you. And I walked by these girls who are walking out of a shopping center, and they were parked underneath a light. And one of them,
Did you wave at him?
no, I was just walking by. I'm not waving. at
Hello.
you. It's nighttime. I don't like wear flowers and rainbows and stuff, so they don't automatically feel safe because I'm gay. But no, one of them unlocked the door. The other one circled the car and looked underneath, and the other one opened the door and put their stuff away, and then they both got in, locked the door, and drove off.
But did they check the back seat? I fucking check back seats in cars. I know it's the stupidest thing because
I've
no
heard
one's
some scary stories though. I wouldn't say that's
well,
a stupid
no, yeah,
thing.
it all stems from that fucking scary stories telling the dark story about
Oh,
the
yeah.
girl with the guy flashing his brights behind her, and she's scared of that, and then she realizes there's someone in the back seat and he's trying to warn her.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it all stems from that. I get in the car at night, I'm like, is there any possibility?
When I like, a lot of people will turn off their light when they like unlock their car or open the door, like the inside light. Mine always stays on when the door is on because I want to be able to see before I open this door if someone's in there.
Yeah, and see what sucked is on my Fusion, when I had that, my lights, my inner lights were kind of broken. So if I went over like a bump in the road at high speeds or anything like that, it would flash my indoor lights on real quick. And at night it was super annoying. So I'd turn them off. And so they were off pretty much for the last half of the year I had that car, And I fucking hated it. Because I get in, I was like, I feel so fucking insecure right now. But anyway, going back to the original topic, I think rape is like one of the most unjustifiable, like primitive, like taboo acts there is. Murder to me is way more natural than rape.
I could see your point because like there's murder with passion. Like you did it in the moment and you're like, fuck. Like that's an instinct you can do it out of, I'm being attacked. So then I killed this person. But rape is like, you can't rape out of passion, like the
No.
murder out
Yeah.
of passion. You can't do that. You have to like physically be aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Holding someone against their will.
Yeah, you know, if you're having to
Yeah.
hold someone down to fuck them and they're not into that shit, then you're
Yeah,
fucking.
because it's
raping
not
someone.
something that just happens in an instant. Like
No,
you make a
yeah.
choice.
That's
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
That's why I always laughed at the people who were like, "Oh, soon enough, you're gonna have to sign a fucking NDA to have sex with someone and all that stuff." And I'm like, dude, if you're not having
I
like
would
somewhat of a consent talk, even if it's in the dirty talk or something like that, there's a mutual consent thing that happens at some point. Like, no, we're not gonna sign NDAs when we're having sex because that's only for dumb fucking people who aren't picking up on the hints correctly. Like,
Yeah.
it's not fucking hard to tell if a girl wants to fuck you or not.
But if that was a thing, like that was just our normal life, I don't care because I would feel so much better. There's a signed contract that says this didn't happen.
I don't know, man. You're making me put my name on things. Like,
Which name do I use?
well, then because then here comes the service, the fucking Ancestry.com service. Your fucking current girlfriend can look to see your fucking entire sexual history.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I mean, completely would probably it might happen.
I mean, it'd take away that conversation of like, what's your number? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just look at my record.
Yeah,
Which is kind of nice because then you'd be like,
37 dicks.
because then you'd get like, so I don't know who it was, and I feel so bad for not giving this person credit, but I watched like a montage of comedians, and there was this woman who was like, I think we should get, she was talking about Uber, how you have to rate each other.
Yeah,
You should have that for relationships so that someone can look you up and see you have like a 4.5, but one person said you're a 1 star. Why? What's their comment? Like,
That's
what's
not
their
going to
thing?
work though, because I mean, if like end goal for most relationships is to get married and fall in love and be with that person for forever, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because every rating is going to come from an ex
Oh, yeah.
and a failed
But
relationship.
It was...
those would be some fucking hilarious reasons.
Yeah.
Great pussy, fucking pillow princess. Though.
But it was just a funny idea that she came up with, which I thought was funny, but also kind of convenient because you can kind of see when you first meet someone, are you friends with all of your exes? Because I know some people are like, no, I'm like, I can't be friends with an ex. Like, there's
Yeah.
no, and then some people are like, well, some of them, some are not. Like,
Yeah.
Well, we kind of have that a little bit with like Tinder and stuff. Not exactly that, but people have learned, like at least I've learned, like in my days of using Tinder, the ability to spot the trashy person who's just good at like taking photos and like creating a profile, because they always say there's always something. They always have to put one dumb white trash piece of shit in there or some dumb shit where it's like, can you be the bullet to my revolver? And it's like, oh, you live in a trailer park. All right, cool. Swipe right.
Bye.
Yeah, let's go. This is gonna be easy.
But yeah, no, I see your point, and it's just, it was a funny concept to be like, you have to hold yourself to a standard to like, don't ghost someone, don't be an asshole, because you're gonna get a report that says like,
Yeah.
oh, 4 people said that you ghosted them. Like, what did you do? What did
Yeah.
happen? You'd have to just be accountable to being a shitty person. If you're a shitty person, if you're a good person, you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah. Makes me think of that Black Mirror episode with Bryce Dallas Howard.
Is is she the redheaded girl?
She's a redheaded girl from Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World, and it's like everyone like rates each other, and
on every interaction they have.
every interaction and like your rating and your social media is all just like projected above your head, and everyone can see that you're like fucking 2 out of 5 stars. No one likes you,
Yeah.
and it ruins your life.
And like it shuns them.
Yeah.
Like,
They get ostracized.
Yeah, I do get weirded out like with any type of like social credit system like that.
yeah.
Like China does that shit now. It's like that. The minute that shit happens, I might just off myself. I'm like, world's gone fucked.
And that's a terrible episode to watch because she's totally fine. Also, sort of spoilers, I guess. I don't know. It's an old episode. You should have watched it. But she's totally like a fine human. Nothing terribly wrong with this person.
Yeah, no, it's just like,
And,
I don't
like-
remember. Did it like a mistake just snowball or something?
Yeah,
And-
basically that's what happened. Is
Yeah.
that you just have one bad day and it just keeps
Fucks
being
up.
a bad
Yeah.
day. Your rating can be to an unsatisfactory level to which people will no longer help you. No one's going to talk to you, which means that your rating will never go back up.
I can't watch Black Mirror, dude. It stresses me out.
Dude,
That
for
one.
real, I've kind of stayed away from that show a little bit because every time I go to watch it, I've heard people describe episodes of it, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, that sounds so fucking cool, but fuck, I don't know how I like having my current reality attack that hard. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
some of it's fun. Well, go ahead.
I only watch episodes that are recommended to me.
Yeah.
So I've watched episode 3 of season 3 and the first episode of the entire series.
Oh, where he fucks a pig?
Maybe not.
Oh, okay.
I've watched the.
oh yeah, the one where he fucks a pork chop.
I've watched the dream one with the man who's like on vacation and is going to make some money by testing out a software.
Total
It's
Recall?
It's a video game. And then I watched the one where we were just talking about the social media one.
So you haven't watched like the VR like video game one with Anthony Mackie and his friend? So it's, you haven't seen this either, Tommy?
Okay, so I'm hearing fucking pig and VR, which
And-
means there's a VR porn game where they fuck a pig because it's more realistic.
Kind of. But so the first one, the fuck a pig one, that happened in the very first season, and I think that's kind of why like Black Mirror got so popular is because it just fucking shocked people. And the fuck a pig one was like some high up politician within European politics kind of got blackmailed into either like his family dies or he has to like on live television have sex with a pig. And that was like the choice he had to make. And people watched this and was like, holy fuck, what is this show? And it just like blew up. And then the VR one that I'm talking about, I think is in like the most recent season or the one before that. And it's Anthony Mackie and him and his like buddy from college or from the military or something would like, they bought this new VR system and we're playing it like every night, like just to hang out and catch up. But the VR is like, once they get into VR, it switches from instead of Anthony Mackie, he turns into like this hot Asian chick. And they're playing like a Mortal Kombat style type game. And they start like falling in love with each other in the game. So one dude is like this ripped Asian man, like Mortal Kombat type style character, and then the other one is like this like Chun-Li, whatever her name is. And they like fall in love in VR and like have sex with each other, and their wives find out about it, and the episode ends with them like all being okay. It's like the wife's like, yeah, go have fun with your friend, and they go into VR and fuck each other.
A twist on Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. And they're like,
That is totally a.
they're
fucking-
like, is this gay? Because
Yeah.
like the one guy's like, I'm a woman now. It feels totally different. The other guy's like, yeah, you're a hot woman. I want to pork you. So it's very, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
So there's episodes like that with Black Mirror where it's just like so like out there and kind of like funny and ridiculous that it's enjoyable. And then there's ones like the fucking a pig one where it's just so like dark and like technology could actually facilitate these kinds of things that it's just like terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I don't know. It all sounds drug induced. Like it sounds like shit that you can't think about unless you're like taking mushrooms or something and really thinking deeply.
Probably.
About
I mean, it's all really creative and it's all very like critical on the way society is going, which is kind of cool, and I enjoy that kind of stuff. But it is dark.
I wonder if that kind of makes sense to me though. Is so when you're friends, you guys are just friends because you both like have made the connection of like, oh, I like you, but like I don't like men, so we're just friends. But I like to hang out with you, spend time with you, like all these things. But then your friend becomes a girl,
A woman.
yeah, and not like reality, under the knife way. It's just like you're just a woman, like magical. That would be interesting because gay people have to deal with that at a very young age, where they're like have to identify: do I like this person as just a friend, or do I like this person?
Yeah,
because they're the same.
well,
things.
yeah. If you ever hear a dude like, if you ever heard like I was going to say like an early 20s, like late teens, early 20s dude describe his perfect girl, it's one of his buddies, just in a girl's body. It's like, oh, I want her to be funny. I want her like want to just sit down, kind of like eat junk food, play video games with me, and like we can just go out and stuff. It's like. You just described your friend. It's like, oh no, he's got a fucking dick, bro. Like I would never do that. It's like,
It's because every dude is just starving for friendship.
oh my,
But a Chun-Li girl,
thighs.
I've been in love with her since I was a very small person. She's one of the reasons why I was like, I can't be gay. I'm definitely bi.
Definitely.
I would want, I want her to just squish my head with her thighs. Just pop.
Keep going.
Or don't.
Like a coconut.
No.
Like a coconut.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That would be really hard to crush with your legs.
She could do it.
This is
yeah, no, she definitely
gonna be a
could.
horrible fucking segue, but we kind of got a little bit off topic.
Nah,
On this show, never.
never.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as off topic.
So I guess my only question is there anything being done about the rape day issue? Is there
Oh, yeah. Is any
police notification?
Well, so I know that like you can like people that are actively going on social media and saying shit about like participating in National Rape Day or like doing anything other than like spreading awareness about it, like you can report those people. And there's some kind of resource to do that, but other than that,
Yeah.
not really.
Not a whole lot.
It's all online at this point. It's all just shit that's spread across social media. So I don't know how you monitor that
Yeah.
or track those people.
I know you guys are ardent defenders of certain platforms and stuff, but man, social media is a fucking cancer.
Oh,
I
mean, I hate social media.
Yeah, I wish that there was just a fucking big ass delete button for it. That our way of speaking to each other and thinking about each other fucking tanked in a decade.
Yeah.
It fucking just like immediately because the keyboard gave you a little more liquid courage kind of thing going on.
Yep.
And it's like, fuck, man. Like, so
And-
much shit starts on social media now, and it gets people fucking killed
Definitely.
or raped, and
Yeah.
like, it's like, fuck.
And for people who have it gave a lot of hypocrites a way to disguise themselves from being hypocrites.
Yeah.
So people who are like have negative views on things, but like take advantage of those things. So like people who sit at home and don't work and have all this time to just go through all of social media and like nitpick at all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, not even just hypocrites, but like people that are dangerous and that just shouldn't
yeah.
have a platform all of
Yeah.
a sudden now have the internet, which gives them access to like an unlimited audience. And it's just
Well,
like
And it's all like,
terrible.
it's all like ingredients into like this perfect shit stew because it's like over the past 20 to 40 well really 20 like 60 years we've watched our military budget balloon, which took money away from things like education, which caused a lot of stupid people who were put into stupid bad schools that didn't teach them shit about life or anything, spit out these people that are now all they need is $40 a month and they can have access to their thoughts in the world at any time. And if enough people around them agree with it, it gets popular and then you have rape day.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But I mean, at the same time, anybody can pay $40 a month for internet access or just fucking go to a library and then you have unlimited knowledge at your fingertips. So
Oh,
like,
100%,
it's more or less like not necessarily education, but just the culture is, I think, instilling the incorrect values in people.
well, yeah, but it's stuff like when you look at other countries in comparison to us, we have very weird education laws. Like kids in Maine could be getting taught we're getting taught more advanced shit than kids here in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, Arizona's what?
Yeah.
49th, 48th worst state
48th,
as far
I
as
believe.
education.
Yeah. And so it's like this weird thing where, especially having a European ex-girlfriend and stuff and talking about her school stuff, it's like, man, if we just put a fucking fraction of our military budget, if we just closed a base in a country where we really don't need it or something, whatever. I'm not trying to say I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but if we did something like that and funnel a little bit more money into the education system and made it so that it is more effective coast to coast and things like that, and more it's more encouraged to be smarter and stuff like that. And when you have those equal standards, that means kids that are in the inner city in Philly are getting taught the same shit as the kids in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means they're now getting the same opportunity, and that's where the kind of the culture will flow of kids who were given this opportunity and really, really stuck with it, and really went with it. And those, you get more learning out of that.
I agree. Our education system is not up to par. And literally you could put any one of the 10 things other countries do, any one of them would be a great improvement. But it is weird. I went to a lot of schools in many different states. And different cities, and there's shit that I was like, I wasn't taught this. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, well, you should have learned about this last year. And I was like, no, I got nothing for you. I'd have to relearn something or like be taught something that it took other kids a year and like a week to catch up.
Yeah.
And then there was other times I'd go, I'm like, I've read this book like 4 times. And they're like, well, this is the first, you shouldn't have read it in this grade or this grade or this grade. You should only read it here. And I'm like, what do you mean should? Because I've read this 4 times.
Yeah, our my city school district, because you have like your high school district and then your elementary school district and stuff like that. They were so fucking mismatched and so fucked up, like not talking to each other, that I took algebra, basically the equivalent of algebra 1 and 2 in 8th grade. Okay, I go in freshman year. They put me in algebra 1 and 2. Or I'm sorry, they put me in pre-AP geometry. And they won't let me out of it. Until the second semester, where they popped me down and put me back in algebra 2. I'm like, okay. And then I switched schools. And because their standards were different, because they were a charter school. So it wasn't like a big bougie private school, but it was like, it was like a prep school kind of thing. And it was basically where all the kids who failed at the other schools went. Really nice place, though. Really great place. Totally the reason I graduated high school. I got put back in algebra 1 and 2 there. And I had to do them again. Just because it was so fucking and everything. And I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
so is school curriculum, public school curriculum, mandated by the state?
so there's,
Who controls it?
I believe it's state mandated.
Yeah.
Because there's like, because like Ames is the Arizona test.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Which
our,
is no longer called Ames.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
called
it hasn't
something
been for a
else.
couple years.
Yeah, it's AZ Merit.
Yeah.
Ames, yeah, that's right.
Spitz
Yeah.
just took his.
But and then so I believe there's federal, like the Department of Education, I think just handles a lot of funding and stuff like that, and they have their own kind of, you just need to be on this kind of area.
Yeah.
But it's so different, and even like at this point, it's such a problem now because you can't just shift. Like it's hard to do just a total like, oh, everyone's gonna learn the same shit now. So everyone on the West Coast, pretty much you and 2 years back, you're all just gonna fail high school.
Yeah.
Like because you're not gonna get any of this.
There's like, I couldn't even imagine how it would work if like the school curriculum all of a sudden became like federally governed.
Yeah.
Because I mean, so many people would be up in arms about that, worried about like, the government's going to brainwash our kids and teach us, shit that we don't need and that kind of stuff. But then flip side of that coin is like, if the way it currently is state mandated, it's like, there's, like you just said, Tommy, huge disconnects between knowledge from one state to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do
there
you
are
fix
just,
that? Like that's such a
like
disaster.
And it's
Yeah.
really, really hard because like federally mandating standards is really
dangerous.
difficult and really dangerous because there's just so in Kansas, their like start dates and times and everything is way different than in Arizona because their time for school still goes based off of crops when their children had to come home. And because if basically it was, I need my son here to help with the farm. And if he has to miss 2 months of school, then he's missing 2 months of school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the school switched it. So they start later or start earlier or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's different than it is here. And they focus a lot on like different shit than we do. There's just it was weird. It was really weird
Yeah.
to like have to go like even here in high school when I switched schools, I had to take 2 sciences in 1 year because their freshman science was a science that wasn't even available at one school. So it was never going to be something I took.
Yeah.
But their 3rd year of science was my freshman year of science. So my biology, I had to take agribusiness, agriculture, and chemistry at the same time.
Yeah. And it's
Right after taking biology.
Yeah.
And ecology. So I was like, I have 5 credits for science and you only need 3.
yeah. Well, and it's just stuff like it was so weird how like just everything was as far as there was really no like general area of knowledge for some classes, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Like think it was my 10th grade English class. We did maybe 1 or 2 days of actual English work, and then the rest, this dude just like tried to Play-Doh talk at us. And he was not Play-Doh. and it was really easy to get him going. So whenever we didn't want to do anything, we'd just be like,
you just
hey.
start talking and arguing with him.
We literally one time, he started doing like regular English stuff, and it was like Monday, and we're like, we don't want to fucking do any of this.
Yep.
And so my buddy, he taps another buddy next to us and goes, hey, ask him what a supercomputer is.
Oh, jeez.
And he goes, what? And he goes, just ask him what a supercomputer is. And he raises his hand. He goes, hey, Mr. Bleep, what is like an actual supercomputer? Like, computer stuff, right? Like, what's a suit? Like, you would always have to kind of compliment him.
Yeah.
Like, because then he'd do the little glasses up, like, well, yes, I do. And he'd just go, hey, you know about computers, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, what exactly is a supercomputer? And I shit you not, within 15 minutes, we were talking about what the actual definition of prostitution was.
What?
And then in 15 minutes later, we were on something else, and it was just like, that's all it was.
Kind of like this podcast.
You just need this.
It was
snowball.
It was just talkie time. And so it's like, then you get out of that, and it's like, well, I didn't really learn anything.
No.
Like, I just fucking talked and shit. And then, like, but you go to the next English class, and it's like, wait, high school English is kind of just doing the same shit over and over again.
Over and over.
Like, there's really no.
But you just get a
advancement
little
in it.
better at it every year.
Yeah, but I'm like, could you
all.
imagine if freshman year it was like, that's when you take your standard English. Sophomore year, you take advanced English. And then junior up to senior year, instead of just having regular English class where you read a book, do a packet, read a book, do a packet, you do something like literature. You give a elective kind of choice of like literature or creative writing or something like that, which one of my schools did. I was in a creative writing class at one point. But if you do something like that, that's where I'm talking about, like putting more funding towards being able to do different classes,
different
like that
avenues
stuff,
of things,
because
not just the same thing over and over.
That opens up a whole new world of knowledge, and it directs kids to where they want to be better. And I mean, that's what I was talking about with the European ex-girlfriend. I think I've talked about it on the podcast before. They had schools they went to. There was like a literary school. There was a science high school. And you went to that school just to focus on that subject. And I've always liked that. We do have some schools here in the States that are like that, but it's pretty rare, and they're usually private schools or something.
Yeah, they built one in Levine, and I pass by it every now and then, and it's like it's called a really long name, but it's like science and math, and it's only science and math.
Yeah.
You do like your entrance classes or like your core classes, and then you do focus on like kids who are going there are going to be like engineers or scientists, chemists, like they're going to do those things.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's not, what I like about it is it's not like picking a trade school or something, It's not like forcing the kid into a path like that early, because it's already kind of retarded that bad R word. It's already kind of dumb, I guess, that we ask an 18-year-old to do it, but people would freak out and be like, you're going to ask a 13, 14-year-old kid to pick, what direction in life they want to go and stuff like that. It's like, no, it's like, are you better at English? Are you better at science?
What
and
is your
math?
skill? Because I definitely would have elected to never be in English again.
Yeah, because then more of your classes focus on English elements, writing elements, reading elements. You still have your Common Core classes and stuff, and you still have, like your history and stuff like that. But instead of having kind of these sideways electives or anything like that, like, video production or some weird like auto body shop like that, it just has more electives geared towards kids who like to read or kids who like to do science and math. And I don't know, I think that would have been incredibly beneficial to me going through high school, because I would have immediately gone to the English school.
And I wouldn't have. It's really hard for me to do it. I basically would just pick English classes based on what books I wanted to read. I would just go to all of their syllabus and like, which books are the easiest, which ones won't give me the most headaches.
Yeah.
And it was, weirdly, it was always like AP English. You had to do the least amount of work because they trusted that you were smart enough to do it.
Yeah, you just had to do more advanced material.
Yeah.
Even then, though, like the idea of picking different schools based on your interests is like, my interests changed all the time too.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, if I remember correctly, there was a way you could transfer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's still, you're not dipping your foot in concrete kind of thing. It's like you have a way out, because I mean, there are kids like that. There's kids like that who suck at math in middle school they hate it, but they have one good teacher in high school, and it's like,
and it turns everything for them.
yeah. So I mean, there's going to be pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, as long as you provide both options, like you can still do that. Just have like one general public school, for, people who are like, I want to be a mechanic when I grow up. So I just kind of want to go here. Like, I just want to go here and get my basic knowledge and stuff like that. And
Going to all the schools I went to, I feel like we have 12 years and I just kept relearning the same shit. It was always like, all right, this whole semester is review of last year. Next semester, I'm going to teach you a couple new things. And then it was just kept doing that. But I'm like, you could just not teach me algebra again. That's totally fine. I already know algebra. I don't need to do it 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and possibly 10th grade, depending on the school you go to.
yeah.
I just need to know it once. It's probably the most used in normal life. I don't need to do it that many times.
Yeah. I mean, there's it's part of it's for retention because they know your little dumb teenage brain isn't going to retain.
Well, it's
that
like,
shit.
you have to be told something like 3 times or ingest it like in 3 different ways before you actually have learned something.
Yeah, so I get that aspect as well as your aspect. I think for Common Core classes, well, no, I mean that's not fair to kids who like math and stuff. Because I'm thinking like for Common Core classes, it should be kind of okay to do that because you're reaffirming knowledge that people are gonna have to use for the rest of their lives. But then that's not fair to like kids who want to go to like a science and math school or something like that. So they have to sit through these Common Core classes over and over again. I don't know. It's weird. I think what I would suggest in that situation is build a time machine, go back and do that. Like somehow do like, what you're saying where you don't take math a bunch of times or the same math a bunch of times and see if you come out of it weaker or stronger.
Yeah.
For it.
I remember doing Christopher Columbus shit every year. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's dumb.
I was like, I don't get why we have to do this every year. Like everyone, all of them, and then to just be told, so everything that you learned is bullshit.
Yeah.
And I had many teachers, English teachers, history teachers, like, hey, you remember how you learned about that's actually stupid. That's actually incorrect. I was like, then why was I learning it for 6 years?
Yeah, most of my history classes were just correction classes.
Yeah, they're just
like,
a lot of
especially
it
around
was.
the Christopher Columbus stuff, because that's like where we got the most bullshit in
Yeah.
elementary school.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Christopher Columbus.
He was an awful man.
Really?
He was.
Nothing?
Not a lot.
You didn't do anything for Christmas?
I mean,
Do you
like,
know what year
I know,
he landed here? Or not here, but
I know there's like a little like a little like rhyme or like a little tune that goes with it to answer the question. Have you heard that?
No, see, I don't know that.
Oh, but no, I don't remember there. What was it? Like in the 1700s?
It's a movie studio. 1492.
14. Oh fuck, I was way off.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like American
Why did I
Revolution,
say
baby.
1700s? Yeah, obviously not the 1700s. I'm not thinking.
Do you know the ships he came over on? Because everyone knows that, I feel like.
Those are like the Santa Marias and the
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. right?
onomatopoeia. Yeah.
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 Santa Maria was always my favorite.
I don't practice Santa Maria.
But yeah, no, it was just, I just feel like there was a lot of review.
Yeah.
A lot of review.
I would say my review wasn't as extreme as yours. It would be like maybe 2 weeks of like review everything that you did in the whole last year, and now we're moving forward.
I will say, this is like me, bucktooth. Yeehaw! Big city school is probably way fucking worse because you've got teachers like big city public school. Because I went to small city, not small, like small, but smaller city public school, like smaller town public school.
How big was your class?
My graduating class?
Yeah.
Well, see, we went to a prep school that was capped at 500 students. They didn't let more than 500 kids in there.
Yeah.
And so my graduating class, I think, was like maybe 75 to 100 kids
That's a good size.
at the very, very most. But I mean, like a normal graduating class at the regular public school there would be in the hundreds upon hundreds, and you'd have teachers with 30 to 40 kids in the class. Like that was normal. So I can't fucking imagine what it would be like to go like to school in the heart of Tempe, like at Tempe High School.
Yeah, and your graduating class is like 1,200 kids.
Yeah, like I can't imagine that. Like it's no fucking wonder. Like even like looking at like your siblings, Gabe, and stuff like that, compared to siblings of people I know in my smaller town and stuff like that, complete and total difference in how they act. Like your siblings are city kids. Like they are kids that went to school.
And
in
it's
the
such
city.
an obvious difference.
Yeah, because there's something weird about small town, like smaller city kids and stuff like that. It's just a weird that like they are big city kids are more like no bullshit. Like they're very just like no, like let's just go because I don't got fucking time for this. Like like it's gonna take us 45 minutes to get fucking home because of rush hour and stuff like this. Whereas you have a small town kid who like got to like just leave school and then go like hit the sushi place with their friends and then do all this stuff, and it was all done and they were home by 4:00. It's like, you know, and so you have a much different like out view, like perspective on life.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because my Spitz is getting older and he has a lot less tolerance for bullshit. And he's only 14 and he's just real sick and tired of everyone talking to him.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. I remember how much I hated. I went to that public school in my town. I went there for a year. I hated it. Everything was so cramped. There were so many people there because it was one of, at the time, 2 schools. And one of the schools was specifically put on a plot of land to service more of the kind of outer-lying towns, like small towns. And less of the actual like small town or medium-sized town republic people. Anyway, I fucking hated it, and I'm like, I can't imagine getting on the bus because you live in the city, which means more than likely both your parents work. So you're in the city, both your parents work. I can't imagine having to take a bus ride, sometimes for upwards of a couple hours, to get to this incredibly packed school. That the teachers do not give a shit because they're fucking overworked.
They're making
underpaid.
$30K a year.
Yeah, if they're lucky. And it's like, and then you just got to leave. And 95% of these kids are latchkey kids. So 95% of them probably aren't going to go home. Like they're going to go do stuff and go do all this. And it's just, you get a harder outlook on life, I feel like.
Yeah. Spitz's bus ride is like, I think 30 minutes.
That's not too
That's
bad.
not too bad. I mean, that was my bus ride as a kid. But I remember there were some. I went to school in Phoenix here in first grade for like 3 months one time. And number one, I never warmed up to it like I did at any school down in my hometown.
I lied. I'm pretty sure it's closer to an hour because I'm trying to remember the last time I had to do his routes.
Oh, yeah.
And like follow his bus, and it was fucking forever.
Yeah, I used to have to take an hour and 15-minute bus ride to the school and back. And then after the bus ride, I had like a 20-minute walk home.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I was in first grade. And it was horrifying to me. It was terrifying to me. Like I remember the first day I got on the bus, I was like viciously looking at the piece of paper my parents gave me or the school gave me for the bus number. Yeah. Just like, okay, this is my bus, right? Like, this is my bus. I get on the bus, and then I realize, I don't know where my fucking stop is. Oh. Like, I've never taken this bus route. So I sit on there, because I'm expecting this bus to pull up in front of my house.
Yeah.
Because no one told me where the stop was. So I'm like, okay, this bitch just must know my address, right? Like, please. And then it gets to the point where there's like one kid left on the bus. And she stops the bus, and I just get off with him. And I luckily recognize, like, oh, I think this might be, like, my neighborhood. Like, I think it's, like, this park looks familiar. And I just wandered around my neighborhood.
Till you found your house?
Until I found my house. And I remember I walked in, I was, like, fucking bawling. I was like, I hate it here. I don't want to live here anymore. Like, this place sucks. All the people suck. Like,
I will say that being city, Spitz and Only don't really have this because they never had to walk or take a city bus or anything like that. But going to all the different schools I went to in different cities, different towns, I went to like a year-round school. Like I went to a lot of different schools. They had different policies, different systems. And it makes you like the first couple times I'm like, you're nervous, but I never gave a shit. I would walk everywhere, night, daytime. Nothing scared me as a kid because I was like, this is just shit I do every day.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like, but Adam, small town person, he can't do that. Like that to him is like nerve wracking.
Yeah.
He will do it. It will happen. But he will spend the night alone in the wilderness by himself and be the most relaxed. I will be very tense.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
yeah, exactly. And I will be tense because I'm used to, I can deal with humans being shitty. I'm not going to die. I know that no animal is going to come and fuck with me, but because I can't see, this is an unfamiliar area to me, I am tense the entire time I'm there.
Yeah. It's a weird, like, I was just thinking about it and I was like one of the reasons I remember as a kid hating living in Phoenix so much, because I lived in like the Avondale area, so fucking packed. Like, and I remember one of the things I hated so much about it was we would always like to go to this place. It was called On the Run. It was like a 7-Eleven or whatever. Our parents would always leave us money to go walk down there. It was 1 block away. And
Yeah.
it took me and my sister a fucking hour and a half to get there and back because of traffic.
For
and shit.
walking?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because of how much traffic and shit. Because we'd always go after school, which was like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we'd hit these stoplights and we'd have to like wait and do all this shit. And then we'd get into the store, which was packed with people getting gas and all this stuff. It was a fucking nightmare. And I was thinking about it. And I was like, I never realized why I hated that so much. I mean, for obvious reasons, but some people are just fine like that. And I hated it so much because I grew up in a town where our big thing was a Walmart. It wasn't even it wasn't even a Supercenter Walmart. When we got a Supercenter Walmart, it was like, holy fuck. Like, but our mall was a strip mall, like an old like 70s, 80s strip mall that had a movie theater in it that the floors would steal your fucking shoes because they were so goddamn
gross.
sticky. But it was the only fucking movie theater. It had 2 fucking screens to service a town of, at the time, probably when I was a kid, probably around, maybe 25 to 35,000 people at the very, very most. But it was like, I grew up in a town like that where crossing a street, like most people don't even use the fucking crosswalk buttons.
Yeah.
Didn't, because it was like, there's like no fucking traffic here. It's like you just walk across the street, and then got shifted into this house where like, you step out on the sidewalk, turn left,
And there's 100 people just flying
and
by.
they do not give a singular fuck about you.
No.
Dang.
Like if they kill you, they're not upset that they killed you. They're upset that they're gonna get in trouble for killing you.
Yeah, the inconvenience of like, now I have to pull over.
Yeah, they think you're a dumb fuck.
Yeah. And, okay, so you're 100% right, because 2 things. One, I literally had that thought today where I was like, if this person hits me, I'm going to be so mad because I'm going to have to stop my car, get out, assess the damage. Like,
what an inconvenience.
yeah, all the time. That's how I think all the time about like humans that don't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
But I remember when we first moved in together, I would like weave through people in whenever we would go to like a grocery store together or anywhere, at Walmart, and you were just like, I'm like freaking out. Can we leave? And I was like, why? What's wrong? I was like, I just like you just shove people out of your way. You just move. You just avoid
That's
them.
funny, because that's how I am, but for a different reason. Because I grew up in Pine Top, Arizona, which has a population of like 5,000 people. And so you would go to the grocery store and fucking empty. Like, I could zoom through the grocery store, get what I needed with my mom, and then get back home like super quickly. And then when I moved down here, and if you go to Fry's on the first Wednesday of every month, it's Senior Citizen Day. And that's where old people go to die. Like you can't get through the aisles because there's some old man that's moving like half a mile an hour, leaning like 80% of his body weight on the cart, like, where's the beans?
Yeah.
You can't get around him.
Oh, not
because he's in the middle, and then there's someone else coming on a scooter.
Yeah, it's terrible. So going from like an empty Safeway to going to like this fucking packed Fry's on the first Wednesday of the month, I was like, I hate it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That was like one of my first things I remember talking with you about. I was like, fuck. Like, grocery shopping here fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I hate just walking into the store. It's a fucking death race to get into the goddamn store.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and I hate them all. But that's why I like move so quickly. I'm just like, nope, don't care.
Yeah,
I'll
I've
leave.
gotten to that point.
I like taking someone with me, like my siblings or Adam or somebody, and I'm like, okay, what I need is in that aisle.
Go get it.
And there's like 7 people blocking me, and in order for me to not go to jail today, you stay by the cart, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And I'll just fucking squeeze my way through everybody. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm nice about
it's still
it.
polite.
But there are times, especially, I hate going to Walmart. I love Target, not because I'm a fan of Target, but because I will gladly spend $2 more on any object to not deal with people who go to Walmart.
I hate Walmart.
Yeah.
I hate Walmart so bad. That's the only time I get shitty, when I have a cart and I'm like, oh, you're just in my way. That's fine. Don't move.
Even the Walmart in my town has always been it's like Mad Max trying to get to that fucking place. Because I went and got our fucking coffee maker at that Walmart, because I was like, oh, they have a better deal down here. I'll just get it while I'm down here. And I remember driving up and I was like, oh man, I used to hate this fucking Walmart so much, but then I moved to the city, and now I learned what a good, this is such good. And then I walked in, I was like, oh, this is
Still
shit.
hate it.
Like I had to stop more times than at a Fry's up here. I just had to stop because people were just fucking like, I'm gonna go Frying now. I'm like, thank you. Like,
people are the worst, and I avoid Walmarts like the plague. The people are a part of it, but there's something about Walmarts that just make me feel shitty. Like it's like the fluorescent lights and like the dirty white tiled cheap ass floors, and it's just I feel gross.
The alonium.
I hate them. I hate them.
Alonium? What am I trying to say?
Linoleum.
Fuck.
Melatonin.
It's the birds that live upstairs that on those like lights for me.
Yeah.
At Walmart.
Yeah.
It's just you, and I'm not trying to say anything, but you can go sit in a Fry's parking lot. You can go sit in a Safeway parking lot. You can go sit in a Kmart parking lot, if they even exist anymore. You can go sit in a Walmart parking lot, and you can tell the type of people who enjoy this type of store. And it's not any good people who enjoy going to Walmart.
So you just reminded me.
All the fucking dregs of society. You could go in there at 2 fucking a.m. and tell me you're not fucking terrified. I did that once.
2 a.m. is dangerous in a Walmart.
Holy
you don't
shit.
do you don't do
I had a
that.
pregnant lady chase me down in the parking lot trying to get me to let her sleep at my fucking apartment.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's like, please, I was like, get the fuck away from me. I was just here for some headphones, god damn it.
Walmart parking lot is the only place where I did my no English. And the person switched to a different language immediately and knew how to still beg for something in a different language. And I was like, that's some dedication. I don't carry cash because it's 2020. Get the fuck away from me.
And it's not that I don't feel fucking awful for these people. Like people like that woman, like there's a pregnant woman asking to live at my apartment. Obviously shit's not going fucking great for her.
Yeah.
But it's like, fuck man. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I'm surviving as well as you are. Like,
I'm in no position to help
like,
anyone.
If I give you $5, that might fucking overdraft me. Like, it's like, shit.
But even if you could give money, I still feel like weird giving money to people on the street and whatnot, just because like,
oh yeah,
they're gonna
100%.
go blow that shit on drugs or whatnot. So I mean, like,
it's tough. It's fucking hard.
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I were just talking like the other day. Is like we should put together like care packages. You know, like put some snacks and some water and a couple like $1 bills in each bag and hand them out to people instead of just giving people straight cash because you don't know what they're gonna go blow that shit on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Annalie will purchase food. My mom will do it too. She sometimes gives money to people, but she'll purchase food. And on a leave for like, I want to say like half a year was like hated all homeless people.
Yeah.
Because someone threw the food at her because they didn't want food. They wanted money.
Yeah.
And she was like, I hate them.
Dang.
She's like, I never wish death on somebody, but I wish he trips in a hole.
Yeah.
Whenever I see those like those street collectors or whatever they're called, the ones that stand on the corners of on ramps and off ramps and shit. Whenever I see them, I'm always like, I feel fucking awful that I'm looking at you and I'm like, I bet you are driving a fucking BMW.
Well, no, and that's a real thing. I saw a video on YouTube of like this dude that's kind of been following around like this street beggar on the strip in Vegas. That was just like, you know, people were giving him money left and right. You know, he's in a shitty part of Vegas. There's a lot of money in Vegas, so people are giving him a lot of money. And then he like this YouTuber followed him and like he like saw him like take off his raggedy clothes and pull out the keys to his nice car, and like this was how he made his money.
Yeah,
he pretended to be a homeless guy, and people just gave him a shit ton of money.
Well, it's like, think about it this way:
non-taxable.
Yeah,
money.
it's non-taxable.
You can't track
cash.
it.
Yeah. So think about it this way: non-taxable cash. All you have to do to make $40K a year is 5 days a week, make at least $20 an hour. Which, if two people give you $10,
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
you've made $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, I have a friend who constantly gives those people money
Yeah.
because he's very, very religious. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I've seen him hand out 10s, 20s. Like, I've seen him do that stuff, and I'm like,
And that's just one dude. I mean, how often
Yeah.
are you at a light where like you're stopped there and you see a guy on the corner and you don't give him money, but you're only there for like what, a minute,
yeah.
2 minutes at most,
Yeah.
and then you're gone, and then you know what happens again.
You just have to
So
have,
like,
and you have at least, let's say you have at least 20 to 30 cars in that line in busy traffic, right? Then it just goes away. You have that many chances of someone going, you know what, I'm going to give him, I have an extra 5 in the car.
Yeah,
I'm just
toss
gonna
him
give
a
him
five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And that's all you're waiting for. And sometimes, if one car does it, everyone starts rolling
and
down their
that's-
windows.
No, that's like a real like psychological thing
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
If
They-
one person breaks.
They definitely have better odds of getting more money if somebody sees like them
Someone else
receive
doing
money
it.
from someone else.
And
yeah.
it's all a psychological thing because at the end of the day, the person, whether people like the explanation or not, because some people believe it's for religious reasons and stuff like that, the main reason you're doing it outside of, you know, here, like have some money, you obviously are doing worse than I am right now,
Yeah.
kind of thing is, some people, lots of people like that feeling it gives them, right? You feel good after it.
Yeah, you've
It
done
feels-
something.
yeah.
You've done something good.
It
Yeah.
feels good to help someone. And so they're preying on that. Like, it's like they're preying on you. You're basically paying them to get a good feeling, and they're preying on you for that.
Damn. Yeah.
But they're fucking it up for all the other people who are actually in trouble and need help. It's like, because there's people like me who see people, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know
If
what
you
to do.
actually need help or not.
Yeah, like how.
And then if I give you help, or will you use it responsibly?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, how do I? And then, like, you see the obvious ones. When we were in Vegas, we saw a dude standing on a street corner holding a sign that just said, it said "change, please" or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was fucking itching and scratching and talking to himself and shit. And we were
Ooh.
like, dude,
He's coming down.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're not selling it well, guy. Like, I wonder if people are still giving you money because they feel bad. Like,
So in Kansas, there's a story where this guy, while I was at work, I saw him on my way to work. He was in this like triangle park where like there's just 3 streets that go around this park.
yeah,
And he has a sign and he has a little milk crate that he's sitting on and it says, I'm going to be honest, I just need some beer. And it made like news for that city, which is the capital. And he had like dozens of 30 packs. Everyone went and bought him beer
Nice.
in different brands. Like he had like a throne of beer to sit on. And everyone was like, quit buying him beer. Like, yeah, haha, it's funny. But like, does he need help? Like, all of you guys donated because the whole thing is they're probably going to go buy some beer. And this person's like, I need beer. And so everyone's like, ha, for being honest or for being funny or for whatever,
I'll get you some
I'm going to
beer.
get you some beer.
Yeah.
And they're like, but like he has like $100 and something worth of beer, if not more. And I'm like, sell it. If he needs it, sell it. Like he's
Yeah.
really?
yeah. You can't resell beer. You have to have a liquor license.
Yeah.
Why didn't I know that?
That's what.
Yeah.
that,
You used to, be a bartender.
yeah. That's
You
what
should know about liquor licenses.
One of the big,
I also used to. Never mind.
one of the big cop killings was a dude in New York who was selling the original like dude who said I can't breathe and started that whole movement.
Yeah.
was a dude who got caught selling cigarettes, and they put him in chokehold and
Oh
set him on
yeah.
the ground.
Yeah.
His name's like Eric Brown or something like that. I'm probably fucking that up. I'm sorry if I am, but yeah. So it's a fucking thing. Like,
Yeah.
and because of your color, I'd be a little bit careful.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't remember him, but like what color he was. But yeah, it was just like at first I was like, oh, haha, someone like really gave him beer. Like he's really gonna
Yeah.
get beer. And I knew that that's just how someone would see it and be like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna give him a 30 pack.
Yeah.
But everyone, there was like,
Kind of smart.
yeah, like people came and like was like, where do you live? Like, where do you want us to take this beer? And he was, I think, actually homeless, but he just knew that like if he put a sign out that, chances are a bunch of Kansas people would
Yeah.
just buy him beer.
Yeah, it would do
And-
better than like a pour me sign.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I don't know anything about this person. I should probably check up and find out. Maybe the next podcast, I'll update if I can find some articles.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious to know what happened after he got his like 15 minutes of fame of like, look at, that's just a crazy thing. Like everyone in Kansas was so proud except for like 5 people.
Yeah. Well, it's like that. Remember that golden voice dude, the homeless guy they found that they would pay him to say things, and he had like the perfect radio voice and all this stuff. It was like this small internet phenomenon that happened. So he got discovered that way, basically. Like he got a job. I think he got like an apartment set up and everything like that.
Yeah.
But he had struggled with addiction. I think he was like a heroin addict or something like that. And he relapsed. And I'm pretty sure from what I remember, because I remember being really depressed about it. I was like, oh, that sucks. Like a dude was given a whole like really good shot at life. And
Like a career.
yeah, just right out the gate. And he just relapsed. And
Yeah.
but
Addiction's a hell of a thing. That's something I
is.
still am
Yeah.
like very gray about because I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like I want to help everybody with that issue and like get them to get on like the right path of like, just keep doing what you're doing and you will be like the rest of us where we just
yeah.
are trying to make it. But I'm not sitting here tempted by anything that like will ruin
Yeah.
every decision I've ever made up to this point.
Addiction's super weird because it's like we're all drinking right now, but we don't need to be. Like we're definitely not addicted to drinking or anything like that.
Maybe a little bit.
There's a lot of it. No, it's like, but we're not at a place where it's like crippling our life or
No,
anything like that.
yeah.
Like technically, according to addiction rules, something like if you have more than like 2 or 3 drinks a week, you're an addict. Like
Oh, really?
you're overusing or something like that.
Yeah, if you basically have a drink a day, you're an addict. But like,
Yeah. But here's the thing: if someone said, "Hey, you can't drink alcohol anymore for like the next month and a half," it would suck, but you could do it.
I could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a problem. Or even if you suddenly learned that let's say you suddenly learned that you have some type of weird genetic thing where drinking alcohol makes you more susceptible to stomach cancer, right? Let's say you learned
I'd stop
something.
drinking. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd stop drinking.
Exactly.
An addict would not be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I know some addicts in my life, and it's fucking hard because I'm not addicted to anything like that. Whenever I watch them fall into their little addictions, and I'm like, the only advice I can think to give you is just, hey, dude, fucking don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Like, how
do
about
it.
you fucking don't because
Yeah.
you're about to ruin the vibe.
Yeah. I'm like almost lucky in the fact that my dad was addicted to many different substances before I was born. Like heavily an alcoholic, heavily a substance abuser. And when I was like born and growing up, he was in AA and had been clean for I don't know how many years. But just like knowing his story and the shit that he went through because of his addictions, I was like, I'm going to watch how much I drink. I'm going to make sure to stay away from hard shit.
Yeah.
And just like, because of that awareness, I don't think I'll ever fall into the trap of like getting addicted to anything, which makes me very fortunate. But for other people, like your friends or whatever, that you see them fall into that trap. Like, that's tough.
yeah.
Well, I watched them willingly walk into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you fucking doing right now? Like, everyone has told you how much it hurts them to see you like this. You know this, you know that, you know all this stuff. What the fuck are you doing? Like, but it's like, but I don't know. I don't know what that feeling is like.
Yeah.
Like, it's
it
like,
sucks.
yeah.
It sucks. I was going to say, I don't really like if you have a drink a day, you're an alcoholic.
Well, of course. Alcoholics like us don't like that term.
No.
Like, don't like those rules.
So,
I mean, like, the way work's going, though, it's so nice to just stop working and then, kick back with, like, a beer or two and just, like, relax for a second.
and that's just kind of all
Frequently.
you really need.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think of it this way. If I can open a bottle of wine and drink that whole bottle of wine in one day and it still be like, haha, funny, you drink a lot, then I'm fine. The day that I do that and everyone's worried, okay.
That's a good sign.
I need to
That's a
stop.
good sign.
Yeah,
I need to
if
stop.
you're drinking and having a great time and everyone else around you is really quiet, probably time to
Yeah,
stop.
probably-
Probably
okay.
time to pull back.
I'm going to take a nap. I'll see you
Yeah.
guys.
Like,
in the
I've had
morning.
moments like that with fucking weed. Like,
Yeah.
I've had moments where I'm like, oh, okay, been going a little too hard in the paint recently. Like, time to kind of pull back and maybe not drop 50 grams of edibles every other weekend. Like, it's like, time to kind of recenter a bit because I'm ruining other people's times
Yeah.
with how this is being portrayed kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I'll have to find an update on that guy.
The beer man.
Yeah, the beer guy. Because
Yeah,
I'm really curious. I really hope that it's all good news and it's really funny and I can like share it on the next podcast. But
It's
thanks.
probably a sob story.
Oh, I hope not. It's going to take a dark turn.
They're just like, he was kidnapped by Jim Carrey and used as a sex slave for 20 years. It's
No,
like,
Jim Carrey's a good guy.
Jim
He wouldn't do
Carrey's
that.
Wonderful. Don't you ever speak
he's
bad.
anti-vax, though.
Don't tell me
Like
bad
just
news.
like specifically for COVID vax or
No,
just
for-
in general?
Just in
Kid
general?
vaccinations. He was married to Jenny McCarthy, remember? And they're both super anti-vax, and they think that. And I think one of their kids has autism or something. They think like she was like the big like figurehead.
She's
of
the one that was
Yeah.
like, my kid has autism because I had the vaccination.
Like I love Jim Carrey as like an actor and like a comedian, but
Yeah.
he's done some interviews and shit where I'm just like if you go look at his Twitter, it gets super preachy.
I'm
about some
surprised that
weird
he even
shit.
has a Twitter.
I don't know if he has one anymore, but I remember looking at it once. I was like, "This is like you are preaching about some bullshit, right
Yeah.
now. Like this
One
is
of-
weird."
Someone I followed him, like liked something that he said about Trump when he was president, and I was like, "You have a Twitter? I'm following because you're like he's just funny." And see, these questions are not questions. Statements like these, a beloved comedian who I love very much is also an idiot. Now I need a drink. This is why I drink. I love him. I don't want to stop loving him. I'm sad now.
Wow, that was an experience watching
Yeah.
you take that emotional roller coaster.
I really like Jim Carrey. I
It's
really
less
was-
of a roller coaster, more just like one of those tower drop rides.
Right.
It just dugum, dugum, dugum.
Yep, just straight downhill.
Okay, well, now I'm
Well,
gonna.
maybe let's go get you a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
We're not alcohol.
He dropped a little faster than Sheba falling down the stairs. Like that was hard to watch.
Oh my
Down the
god!
stairs
the
again?
other day, I don't. Who? What happened? Something happened.
noise.
It's the noise. It's
Yeah,
the
no, I think I
accordion
was with
noise.
you.
Yeah, I was just cracking up because I just was like, oh, it's because Karina was like, oh, don't go too fast. And immediately when she said that, I just heard boom, boom, boom. And then the squish that happens when she drops.
Oh, it's so sad.
Couldn't stop laughing.
Like, is it a noise she makes, or is it just like her body?
It's her body slamming into the wall at the turn.
No.
And the reason I call it the accordion noise is because when my desk was in front of the stairs, I turned around because I could hear her little old lady paws coming down.
Yeah.
And I went, "Hi, Sheba." And she just, I watched her face go into the wall and the rest of her like accordion into
You probably
it.
scared the fuck out of her. She probably thought there was
Yeah.
no one around her. Hey, she was like, "Oh, God damn it." What the fuck?
As she's coming down the last few stairs.
Yeah, she drops. And then she just is fine always and just walks back down. and is totally fine.
She is a
She bounces
fearless
back. Yeah.
Because I
She's part dingo.
when I walked in today, I think she was walking down the stairs and she just ate it, and I was like, "What?"
No, I saw her eat it today. Like there's the main stairs and then
Yeah.
it wraps around a 90 degree and does like the three little stairs. She trips all the time on the three little stairs.
Yeah. Every time.
It's like
Every
you made
time.
it
It's because
so far.
she rounds that corner so fast because she just wants to get down on ground level and say hi to everybody that's here that she forgets that, oh, there's three more stairs here.
Yeah, her center of gravity is off because she's like a bullet.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, turn, drop."
It's like it's better. It's honestly better to come into this house through the garage because then you just have to go stand in the kitchen for like 20 seconds until you hear.
Click, 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 click. Yeah.
Because most likely she's gonna go slow because she's like, I think someone might be here and come down.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you come
Let
in
me
the
in.
front door, she's already at the top of the stairs looking at you like you're fucking here. And then it's like, I gotta get downstairs to see you right now, bro. Like, let's do this. And all of us immediately like, hi, please don't.
Take your
Please."
time. It's okay.
Please.
It's fine.
And
It's
she's
fine.
like, I'm still young. I can do it. Just-
I'll meet you halfway. Just please don't. Oh,
you hear me beg with her probably on a daily basis. I'm
yeah.
like, Sheba, I'm just going downstairs to throw this away.
I'll be
please."
back. Stay.
Yeah, please stay upstairs.
yeah. Her little walks crack me up, and then Storm just racing her up and down. I'm like, "Storm, quit!"
Yeah.
You know what else has a little walk?
Hmm.
A Chinese midget making food.
Making food? Oh, oh wow.
That took me a while.
That was almost as bad as my lettuce incident.
Oh, that got me good.
And
Though.
Adam was holding lettuce and then put it under the water, and Gabe
Lettuce.
goes, yeah, Gabe goes, Adam, take that lettuce. And I went, no, it's not lettuce. It's lettuce.
Now it's lettuce.
It's also very fucked up for that moment. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for listening again. Sorry about last episode. We will mind our drinking habits now that we're...
No, we'll do it again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now we take shots and do a whole new episode.
Hey.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening to Loft Mountain. Come back.